Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. So today's video I'm going to share with you all my favorite manga that I read in 2021. There are a lot of manga series that I'm going to share with you all today. There are going to be about 17 series that I'm going to share. They're all a mix of demographics, so there are going to be some shoujo series, josei, seinen and shonen. I do have my laptop with me as well, as I want to tell you guys whether the series are ongoing or not, also how many volumes there are and that stuff, and what demographic as well, or genre. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This video will be a current time video, as you probably have noticed if you've been following on the channel for a while, a lot of my videos have been pre-recorded, whether like me during uni or before I started uni. But now I'm back. I am actually leaving tomorrow to go back to university, so by the time you're watching this, it should be this upcoming Monday, which is my normal Monday uploads. But yeah, you probably watch a few of my Gaku vlogs right now. Today was meant to be Gaku vlog 3, but I decided to slot this video in, as yeah, I didn't want this video to be too late in January or February. Like how my videos is going so far right now, it isn't current time, but this will be the one that will be current time. So yes, this is live me in a way. You've been watching like 3 months old me for the time being. I hope you guys didn't mind. But yeah, there are a lot of series that I read in 2021, and I did pick up a lot of my manga from my wishlist for 2021 as well. Some series that I've picked up has been gems, some that I've picked up I just haven't read yet, so I do apologize for not including it in this favorites video, as I just haven't had the time to start certain series. I know like by the time I start them they will probably be in my 2022 manga favorites, but these are the series that I started in 2021, and yeah, I just want to share with you guys my thoughts, and of course all of them is series that I recommend. Before I start sharing all my favorite reads of 2021, please give this video a like, comment and subscribe, you know the drill, and click on the bell, and feel free to use my affiliate links down below for Blackwell's, Amazon and Right Stuff to help support this channel and its future giveaways. And yeah, I also want to mention there are a few series that I don't have physically with me right now, as I've left them in uni, but those series that I will recommend later were series that really made a huge impact in my life, I would say. For me, I'm a type of reader, if you guys don't know, I tend to read manga according to my mood, but also I like reading series that like helps me in a way, either my mental health or just, I don't know how to describe it, you know? I'm not too sure if you guys feel me on that one, but I really like reading series that impact me in certain ways or leave a huge impression on me after reading a series. But yeah, anything that I mentioned in 2020 in my manga favorites I won't be mentioning in this video, as I feel like this video will be too long. I will mention it now quickly if you guys want to know. It will be like Sweat and Soap, Spy X Family, Perfect World, Requiem of the Rose King, The Promised Neverland. Like, you guys know where I stand with those series. Like, those are like one of my, not just one of my ultimate favorites, should I say, of manga that I've read of all time. So yeah, I won't be including those series today, but yeah, I hope you guys had a lovely new year, and let's get started. So starting off with this video, I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I will throw in some of the series that I don't have physically along the way. But yeah, I'm going to just start off with the first one on stack, and that is My Boy. It is completed with 9 volumes. I currently have volume 8 along the way, but yeah, this is a seinen series. And wow, I definitely slept on this series at the beginning of like 2021 to mid 2021, but at the end of it I managed to pick this up as I came back home for Christmas, and boy, this series is so well written and the art style is so beautiful. So I mentioned early in my early wrap-ups how I really I feel like just scrap what I said from before. The main point of the series is about bonding. At first I mistook it as just a child being neglected, but this series is much more deeper than that, and it's so beautifully written. Like, I'm pretty sure if you pick this up you will enjoy it. Probably once you get up to volume 3 you will get sucked in the most, in my opinion. That's how I felt. But yeah, this is a very beautifully written story, and I'll give you a brief synopsis. So it's about this woman who's called Satoko, and she is 30 years old and she works for a sporting company. And one day she meets this little boy who's called Mashu, who's 12 years old, and he's practicing football. And in the park, I think a stranger approached him and she saw and she thought, let me just intervene. I'm just going to use a few panels to use as a visual so you guys get what I'm talking about. So you can tell this old man here is trying to talk to Mashu, and then Satoko's thinking, what child molestation? Like, she's already overthinking, and she intervened even though she's a stranger herself. That's where the bond starts. So Mashu, in the first volume or two, you will notice that he seems like he's a bit neglected. He lost his mom, his dad is overworked, and he has no time to look after his children. And a lot of the time when you look at Mashu, he looks a bit scruffy and that stuff. And I think what Satoko sees in Mashu is that she feels like she can help fill his void, and also Mashu fills her void. As Satoko, she's an interesting character. She has a lot of I've mentioned previously, baggage, but is a lot of things that happened in her early upbringing that affected her in her adulthood. And I feel like this series, when it talks about experiences and bonding, whether like you meet someone, if it works, it works, and when it doesn't, it doesn't, and how to get through it and overcome certain situations. I feel like this series does a really good job, and I don't know how to even put it into other words. It's a very beautiful story. The art style is stunning as well. It's a very, very beautifully written series. As I said, like, it manages to suck you in. I don't know from my explanations if you guys understand the premise of it, but I will insert captions as well just in case if my explanation is too bad. But yeah, from my point of view of this series, it seems like two people that are strangers that cross paths in their life, and they're able to fill each other's void and basically fulfill something that they need, if that makes sense. And I feel like this is so beautiful, but at the same time, I don't know how other people will interpret the series, but if you can pick this up, I recommend you guys to pick this up. Next series that I read in 2021 that I really enjoyed is Hat Atelier. So this is a fantasy series I've mentioned previously as well. This reminds me of Ghibli and also Harry Potter. It's just the art style and also the storytelling is really, really well done. And yeah, I think this is like one of my favorite fantasy series, and just aesthetic wise, it's just stunning. Like, oh, I just missed that page. Like, look over here. Like, isn't that gorgeous? I feel like this series is already quite popular in the manga community. However, in 2021, this really stood out to me, and I have been collecting this series and I am up to date. I don't know what else to say other than magic, Harry Pottery, sorcery, witches, and like just I'm not very good at describing, as you can tell. However, like, if you can see from the panels and enjoy the art style, this is a series that, if you can imagine yourself on a cozy night, you know, sitting on a bean bag or near a fireplace, you'll be reading this series. That's my point of view of this. And it's just really nice to see Coco's journey, which is the main girl character, and also in front of the page. So yeah, that is Hat Atelier. Next series that really stood out to me in 2021 is the Apothecary Diaries. This is a seinen series and it is ongoing. Yep, so currently there's only 3 volumes out. I'm pretty sure volume 4 is already out in America, but you know, UK releases are pretty slow. But yeah, this series really stood out to me, not just because of the artwork and also the era that it's set in. From the front cover, I'm not too sure does this look appealing to you, but from when I first saw it, it didn't seem like a series that I would enjoy. I'm just gonna be very honest. However, I would say this would be one of the gems that I found in 2021 and enjoyed so much. Like, every time I read this series, I chuckled. Like, the main girl character, like Mao Mao, she is so badass. I've mentioned it so many times, even in my collection video. And she's not the type of girl that you can step on easily. She's fierce, she's feisty, she has a little bit of attitude, and she knows what she's doing, and she's a herbalist. So it's really interesting seeing her journey of being in the inner palace and finding all the mysteries and solving all the mysteries. I don't know if that makes any sense either, but I'm gonna show you some of the pages. What I'm intrigued about as well is this behind character Jinchi. I want to see if anything with him and Mao Mao blossoms. That is something that I'm curious about. However, this series is not really about romance at all. It's more about Mao Mao, who solve problems that happen in the inner palace. So, you know, like, there's jealousy within, like, the concubines, people like poisoning each other and people taking like weird stuff, and then Mao Mao's like, oh, let me solve that issue, you know. But yeah, this is a very fun series. Definitely recommend. A plus side to this series is definitely the comedy and also the era that it's set in, like ancient Chinese history. So if you're into that stuff and like the attire and also hairstyle and that stuff, just the plot itself is very how do you say it, it's very nostalgic for me. As a kid, I used to grow up watching TV dramas that set back in those times. I really enjoy it, and just seeing all the drama that goes along, like I said, like people poisoning each other and that stuff, and how Mama finds out and sorts it out. It's a very fun series. So yeah, definitely a gem for 2021. On to the next manga favorites that I read in 2021, and that is Paradise Kiss. This series is by Ayazawa. If you guys don't know who Ayazawa is, that is the manga for Nana as well. So if you know Nana already, this series, whew, the art style is phenomenal. But that's not only why I love about this series because of the art style, it's just the way it's written. It's very how do you say, old josei like. This is a josei series as well, but yeah, it's also coming of age, it has queer elements, and yeah, it's a very interesting series in my opinion. I don't think it's a staple for everyone's collection, however it's a staple in mine as I love Ayazawa, and we also don't have a lot of josei manga in the Western manga community anyway, so having more josei, that's a win for me. So yeah, Paradise Kiss, the art style is phenomenal. It really follows this main girl character with her decisions in life, whether she pursues something that her parents wants her to do or her passion, and also discovering what her passion is and the friendships that she builds along the way, and also relationships. It also dives into toxic relationships as well. Not something that you expect, but it is from Ayazawa, so you can expect some of that, right? Some drama in that. But yeah, this series, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm still gonna mention it anyway. The ending might not be something you'll like, so I just want to put that out there. It's not really a spoiler, however, for me, I feel like it should have ended that way. I'm just going to say it like that. Maybe it gives it a bit of mysteriousness to the series that maybe you want to collect, but you can see how beautiful this series is, and let me show you with even this, like, look how beautiful the characters are. Also, what I like about this series, Paradise Kiss, is the emotions that the main character goes through as a teenager, and I feel like it's very nostalgic in a way, even though some is too dramatic, but you can see the certain things that she do, the decisions, is because she's still a child at the end of the day. And yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of the series. I really enjoyed the storytelling as well. I loved seeing all the like fashion pieces as well. But yeah, that is Paradise Kiss. Next series that I read in 2021 that I enjoyed is Moriarty. This is a series that you can read on the Shonen Jump app as well, so you don't have to commit to this if you don't want to collect it physically. But yeah, if you're into Sherlock, if you're into crime, if you're into a bit of comedy as well, would you even say it's comedy? I don't know, but some parts of the series does make me chuckle. But yeah, it's just a nice series that if you want to binge something, I recommend like Moriarty. This is a series that I'm currently collecting and savouring as I enjoy binge reading this series. The plot of this series and the way it's told is definitely very infatuating. It does suck you in, so bear in mind in case you read all of it and you're thinking I need more, but actually the series is still ongoing. But yeah, this is a shonen series. I'll show you some of the art style as well, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have probably heard of Moriarty because he is the rival of Sherlock. But yeah, it's just fun to follow the journey of solving crimes and also just seeing all the mischief that the middle class people get up to, you know, and Moriarty like steps in. If you're looking for an easy shonen series to get into that you know you're bound to enjoy, I'll say yeah, Moriarty is definitely worth picking up. Next series that I enjoyed in 2021 is Living Room Matsunaga-san. I don't know if this is a surprise or not, but this is an age gap series and it is a respectful one. I always have to point that out there as I'm a person, when it comes to age gap, there's certain series, even a series that I'm going to mention later, it does kind of tick me off when it comes to relationships that deals with a minor, as yeah, you can tell with my face that just can't run, in my opinion. Like, I can see age gaps happening at older stage or age in life when you're like both adults. However, when one is still a minor or still in high school, personally it makes me a bit uncomfortable, because I can't imagine myself, if I was to be 18, to be dating someone that's like, I don't know, 24, 25. Like, no, you're just in such different stages of life, and to me, I feel like it's very controversial. Maybe some relationships have worked that way, but personally, I just can't look past that. Anyway, Living Room Matsunaga-san. Why am I being so negative? This is a beautiful, fluffy shoujo. If you want a fluffy shoujo series that fills your craving for a shoujo manga, this will fill it in for you. Like, the first 2 volumes, it might not get you anywhere, I feel like, but the more you read it, you'll definitely enjoy all the characters, as this series is based in a boarding house as well. So it's not just focused on these 2 characters, it also focuses on side characters, which I really like. I really like when side characters get their own limelight as well, like they have a bit of like screen time, if that makes sense. And this series does give side characters that. And yeah, the art style is very pretty as well. And Matsunaga-san, he's just a very funny dude. Like, he always walks around the house shirtless as well. And yeah, it is a very fun series. The pacing is not very quick either. I wouldn't say it's slow. For what it is at a good pace, and this is a completed series as well. It's complete at 11 volumes, I believe. Let me just double check, but currently we have 8 volumes out, and from what I've read, I am up to date. It is so good. Like, this is definitely one of my favorite shoujo manga that I read in 2021. Is the fact that I want to keep on stay updated and see how their like relationship blossom, but also like their character development is a fun read. And like I said, I really like how they give the side characters some like screen time as well. So these 3 characters as well that live in the boarding house. And yeah, it is a very cute, fluffy series, definitely, hands down. But yeah, that is Living Room Matsunaga-san. So the next series that I'm going to talk about is actually from my laptop, as I don't have the physical volume with me, unfortunately, right now, as it's in uni. But I'm going to make a huge claim, but it was my favorite series that I read in 2021, hands down. I know that is a big claim, however, the way that series impacted me, let me tell you the title first. I forgot to say it. A Life Turned Upside Down. My Dad's an Alcoholic. So this is a one-shot series, and I'm just gonna put it up on my laptop so like I have a bit of visual for me, but I'll show it on screen for you guys and probably show a few panels as well. So I just typed it up on Google and just clicked on the first link so you can see what I'm talking about. This is what the cover looks like, if you can tell, and in American dollars, it's $14.99. I did pick this up for £11.99 in Forbidden Planet. It was definitely out of a whim. You probably will see this series in a wrap up in probably either 2 or 3 weeks time, if not a month's time, when I do post the video. But this series is a one shot, so it's not a lot of commitment. That's number 1. Number 2, this series, the way it impacted me, the reason why I say it's my favorite series that I read in 2021 is because how I could relate to the series. This series, I cried my eyes out, okay? It's a series that is it called autobiography or biography? I don't know which one it is, but it's basically a true story by the manga, and it's what the manga went through in her upbringing as a child and what her childhood trauma affected in her adulthood and her relationships with other people. I also want to put a trigger warning, since I said I cried loads. If you grew up in I won't say abusive upbringing, but more like if you grew up with family or parents that have some sort of addiction, whether it's alcohol addiction and that stuff, or gambling addiction or anything like that, I feel like you could relate to this a lot. Personally, I could relate to this series to a T. That's why I got really emotional. You see the life of the manga, how it was in her upbringing and how much it affected her in her adulthood. And that, to me, when I read the series, I could just see a self-reflection of myself. And I've never read any manga series that I could relate to a T until I found this manga. Like, this manga, like, I didn't even mean to pick up. I just saw, oh, the title seems interesting and that stuff, and I picked up without knowing that how much it would impact me. This was, if I can give it 11 out of 10, I'll give it 11 out of 10. But it's a 10 out of 10 series, in my opinion. All-time favorite read, only because it impacted me in a way and also I could relate. So for you guys out there, if you couldn't relate to this series, I wouldn't know what your rating would be for this series. However, like I said, for me, it felt like a self-reflection of myself, so that's why I'm giving it such a high rating and saying that it was my favorite manga that I read in 2021. Anything that I could think deep and like reflect on my life, I always give that manga series a higher rating, as like I said, anything that impacts me in a way, it's something that I seek for. I don't know, like, it's like kind of like understanding yourself a bit. I'm not too sure if anyone feels me on that one, but yeah, that is the series that I like to recommend. It's a one shot, like I said, easy commitment. Anyway, next series that I would recommend would be Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. This is the series that is controversial. Because of our age gap, okay? This is not just an age gap series, this also deals with a relationship between someone that's in high school and an idol, so a normal civilian and an idol. That can be controversial, as today I saw a comment and someone said that could be considered child grooming, and I was like, did not think of that. So hopefully with that might turn you away from the series. But however, if you don't see it like that, then that's a different thing, because I personally can't see that in this series, as for me this series is a very fun read. I really enjoy, if you can tell from the back, the way the character is sometimes drawn, like the chibi version and the funny faces. This is a very funny manga. It's not just a fluffy shoujo, it's a manga filled with lots of comedy. I do like the romance though, in my opinion. It's not something that like is off-putting, but it may be off-putting to you, so I do want to put a disclaimer. Beautiful artwork as well, if you can tell. The character that's very pretty, even from the front cover you can tell the main girl is very pretty. If you're looking for a fluffy, fun romance shoujo, I recommend this. However, like I said, it's an age gap series, so I just want to put that out there, because even me, I was put off picking this up in 2021. To be honest, I didn't even want to collect this series just hearing like the age gap. However, I don't know, there was a day that I wanted to read a fluffy romance. I think I just felt a bit down and I just needed to pick me up, and this series just picked me up like this, and I was like, this is what I need. Also want to put out there, the main guy character who's an idol, he does like butts, so that might be a bit off-putting for you, but for me, I find that hilarious, and me like butts too, like who doesn't like butts? So yeah, it's just a fun series, and yeah, I really recommend it. But if you can't like see past the age gap, I understand if you guys don't want to pick this up, as even I didn't want to pick it up at a point in 2021. Next series that I read in 2021 that I really enjoyed as well is Hell's Paradise. Let me just see if this is a shonen or a seinen. So this series is a shonen. It is by Viz and it is complete. So it has 13 volumes, but it's currently not complete in the UK. It's complete in Japan. So I'm pretty sure by the end of 2022 this year, this series will be complete. This series is got a lot of plot, you know, it's very impactful in a way. It's quite gruesome, it's quite dark, the art style is gritty. I don't know how to describe it. Like, look at that. I'm gonna find some better pages. I don't want something too much, but it's a fabulous shonen series. If you want something that's fantasy, adventure, great art style, and also like intriguing plot, this is it. Like Gabimaru, who is an assassin, he's basically put on an island to find this thing called the elixir, and he's basically on death row right now, and in order to escape death row he needs to find this elixir, and other people that have been put on the island too are either assassins or other criminals, and you can just imagine it's just a bloodbath like on this island. Next series that I read that I really enjoyed, and this is a josei series, and it did come out in 2021 as well. This was released by Vertical and it's Harry's Curse. So if you have read the blurb that I'll insert here already, probably you'd be a bit turned off, as long story short, this series is about a relationship between these two characters. However, Haru is a girl who has passed away and is this girl's younger sister, and her younger sister ex-fiance is him. And that already sounds a bit off-putting, right? However, let me just tell you, this series is so well written. The reason why I really enjoyed the series is that I was intrigued to see why would they choose to be together, even knowing that her younger sister's ex-fiance is him. Like, I want to see how the story unraveled, and this series did not fail me. It was so intriguing. To me, like, a lot of people might think this series would be about grief. However, it does talk a bit about grief, but it's not a sad series at all, in my opinion. It's something more like, oh, you want to see like what the character does. Is more like you just want to see what happens next type of thing. And yeah, it's very respectful as well, in my opinion. And yeah, this was a very fun josei read that really surprised me in 2021. Like I said, we don't really have much josei in the Western community with manga, so having this in 2021 was like a big blessing, a big gift. And yeah, I can't recommend this enough. This is a great series. I'll show you guys the art style as well. Hopefully later on in this year, or maybe in the next year, more publishers can publish more of this manga's work, as this manga has other series that are like freaking amazing. I think there's one about mafia, and who doesn't like mafias and that stuff, like Bad Boy. But yeah, even the art style is very interesting. It's not something that I would tend to read, in my opinion, but once you read it, it's not a big problem. It does remind me a bit like webtoon like art style, but yeah, it's not off-putting at all. There's another thing, I can't read manga that has very off-putting art style, as it just really affects the enjoyment. So just trust me on this one. This is also a completed series. This is only just one volume, so not a lot of commitment. I think it's 2 volumes in one, but in the UK here we call it, I don't know, an omnibus, a one series, a one shot, I don't know. But yeah, this is not a lot of commitment, so yeah, definitely recommend if you're into josei series. I just had an email notification saying Perfect World Volume 9 is back in stock, so during this video I'm just gonna quickly buy manga, because why not? And it's at a good price. It was only £8.18, so I'm just gonna quickly pick that up now. Whilst I'm on my laptop, I want to recommend another series that I read in 2021 that I really enjoyed, that I didn't expect to even pick up, and that is Boy Meets Maria. So I wish I can show you the physical volume right now, but you probably see it in my future hauls or my Gaku vlog or my wrap up, which I have filmed already, but it will be out in, like I said, probably a month or 2 at a time. So but yeah, this series is a LGBT plus manga that explores love and gender at high school drama club. So this series, I'm gonna put a trigger warning, as in the middle of the volume it does get something happens that might make you feel uncomfortable and that stuff. However, what I love about Boy Meets Maria is that I don't read a lot of BL at first, just want to put that out there. However, this was so beautiful. I love how the main guy character was like, no matter what gender of Maria was, he was like, I will love her, you know. And just seeing the commitment and the love, it's just, oh, it was so sweet. Like I said earlier, it does explore love and gender, and yeah, it's a very beautiful series. The artwork is beautiful, even the cover is so stunning. But yeah, that is also a one shot, so not a lot of commitment. So if you're into what I just said just now, it's a fab series that I definitely recommend. But yeah, the next series that I like to recommend is The Demon Prince of Momochi House. So this was a series that I've been longing to read for a very long time, but I've been putting on the back burner for a very long time as well, as this is, I think, a 16 volume series. But yeah, I managed to complete this in 2021. We're reading, I'm still missing one volume 4, which is impossible to get right now. We're just waiting for a reprint at the moment. But yeah, this is a shoujo manga. It's a fantasy series as well. It's also been compared to Kami-sama Kiss quite a lot. Even with those comparisons, the only similarities is really the house and the main guy character having like fox-like ears. That's it. Everything else is very different in my opinion. I really enjoyed the storytelling of this series. It's very shoujo-like, and like I said, I really enjoyed the fantasy aspect and also the romance between the 2 main characters. It's how do you say it? It's just so fluffy, and the more you read it, it really like makes you happy and that stuff. And I would say this series does have a few flaws. However, if you can look past that, you're good. To be honest, the flaws aren't a big issue. It's just certain parts of certain volumes, some things might seem a bit confusing, maybe nearer to the end, but overall this series is fabulous. Even the art style, what I can't get enough of this series is every time I open up a volume, they always have a color art page, and it is stunning. Like, look at this, look how stunning this looks. Doesn't that look amazing? Every time I open up a volume, it always blows my mind how beautiful this series is. Like, there's so much thought on the cover arts and even the back. And yeah, I really enjoyed the characters, the side characters as well, also their stories. And yeah, it's a very fun series in my opinion. Not too serious than that, but if you want a shoujo series to fill in that, like, you know, I don't know, something that you feel like you're missing, I feel like Demon Prince of Momochi House might be a great one to fill in that thing. I don't know what I'm on about, but I hope I'm making sense. Like, it's yeah, definitely felt very satisfying after reading the series, as I did binge read this. I feel like this is a series worth binge reading as well. I don't feel like this series is a series to read one volume here and there, you know. It's more like just read it all in one go. I feel like that's with all shoujo romance manga, in my opinion, to be honest. Read them in all in one go. You will feel more satisfied than reading one volume at a time, unless it's like a seinen mature romance like Sweat and Soap, then that's different. That I can enjoy it by itself with each volume. But yeah, next series that I'd like to recommend is Blue Period. So this series, some of you guys probably already heard or probably watched on Netflix, the anime. However, I don't think the anime does this manga any justice. Like, this manga is too good, and the anime, I don't feel like it infatuate you like the manga does. Like, I feel like the manga like sucks you in compared to the anime. The anime is more like, you know, like, I feel like it's unable to deliver how the manga delivers the story. But yeah, this is a series that talks about passion, a lot about art. You don't have to know about art language to enjoy the series. I enjoy the art style as well, but let me show you some of the pages. So this is the first few pages from the beginning, and you can tell how the main guy character is infatuated how this girl is painting here. But yeah, I think this is the page where he discovers that, oh, like, maybe art is for me, and he explores his passion. And I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy this series a lot, is because finding one's passion. I think for me, it's a very personal and also touchy subject, but I feel like with you guys, you kind of understand my character by now. But if you're new here, basically, I enjoy reading manga series, and just in general life, I enjoy character development. I really enjoy growth, like seeing someone like being a better version of themselves, or trying to find things that they enjoy in life. Because, bro, life is so short, right? So trying to find something that you love, that's great, right? And yeah, I feel like in life a lot of people don't really get to explore things that they like. I feel like people tend to go into survival mode and like do things just for survival, and to me it is very unfortunate. But some things with circumstances you can't change, or not like you can't change, it's just a lot more difficult. And when manga like talks about passion, it touches my heart, because a lot of things in life, like, you want to change but you don't have the means to change, and for me that is very sad. But yeah, I don't want to touch on that topic too much, as I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. But yeah, personally it's something that yeah, it's relatable to me. Like, finding passion, I know how difficult it can be, feeling like you don't know what you're good at, you know, and being able to discover that is something very beautiful in my eyes. But yeah, that is Blue Period. Next series that I'd like to recommend, which is really well known in the community, is Blue Flag. I want to put a disclaimer out here. The reason why I'm putting a disclaimer is basically With this series, I feel like a lot of people will love. However, it's a series that I don't think people will turn back to again. What I mean is, I feel like with certain people when collecting the series, it might not be a series that they like to collect, as it will be a one-time read for them. However, I can read this series multiple times. It depends what reader you are. But I can see people enjoying this series more digitally than physically. You can read this series on the Shonen Jump app as well. But yeah, this series is a beautiful one. It deals with like high school relationships, friendships, and also the emotions that comes with being a teenager as well. And I really like how they tackle certain situations in this series. And yeah, it's definitely a friendship manga in my opinion, rather than a romance. And yeah, I really like seeing all the side characters as well. They have a lot of screen time in this series and also backstory, and I like how it also gives you an idea that everyone has different opinions. Everyone goes through everything very differently in life as well. Not everyone goes through the same thing as you. I feel like they tackle that really well, and even gender as well, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me with that one, but this is a very beautiful series. Even from the art style of the cover, it's so beautiful, and I feel like that's what attracts people to pick this series up, of how clean it looks. It's just so pretty. And at the end of the day, I feel like this series, even though it's quite hyped, it's basically a high school setting. So I don't know, like, some reason I knew it was a high school setting, but it didn't turn out what I expected to be. Even though it didn't turn out what I expected to be, I still really enjoyed this series for what it is. But the ending, I just wish there was an extra volume to explain certain things. However, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, I really enjoyed the series and I will recommend it, as like I said, I really enjoyed it in 2021. So yeah, this is a series that really stood out to me. However, it is very slice of lifey. So it really depends if you're into that as well. But yeah, that's Blue Flag. So we're near to the end. We have 3 more series for me to recommend. I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. I feel like I'm just rambling along. But the next series that I recommend is Asadora. So this is one of my favorite reads of 2021 as well. It's my first Naoki Urasawa read as well. I mentioned many times of Naoki Urasawa. He is the manga of Monster and also 20th Century Boys and also Pluto, I believe. So yeah, this series, Asadora, it's a great like series to get into his manga, in my opinion, even though I haven't read the rest. It's just the storytelling is so intriguing. I like the sci-fi elements. I love the historical era that it's set in. I think this is set in the late 70s at the moment. But yeah, it's very well written. From the art style, you have to see if it's for you or not. However, it follows this girl who's called Asa, and she is at that age, for I don't know how old she is when she starts off. She's either 7 or 8, but at her age, she's such a strong, bright little girl, and like, it makes me happy just seeing like how strong-willed she is. But long story short of this story, it starts off with Asa introducing and saying how she has so many family members. She's normally quite ignored in her family as she has so many other siblings. But yeah, what happens is like something similar to a tsunami or typhoon or earthquake happened, and her family basically got lost in that, and she's basically trying to find her family. And whilst that is happening, she also helps feed everyone in like her little town through like flying a plane, like an 8-year-old flying a plane, like how? And she gets into, before even that, she gets kidnapped by a burglar. So yeah, the story does start off interesting. However, volume 2, in my opinion, is the volume that really sucks you in. Currently, this series is also ongoing at the moment, so it's very difficult to binge read as there's not a lot of volumes out. There's only 4 volumes out at the moment, but I only own 3 as volume 4 is super expensive right now in the UK. I'm just waiting for the price to drop a little, then I'll pick it up. But yeah, it is a seinen series, I believe. Yeah, it is a seinen. So if you're into seinen manga, definitely this is worth picking up, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely a great read in 2021. One of the last 2 series that I picked up in 2021 that I really enjoyed, that, like I said, I mentioned a few shoujo manga here. However, this is one that top recommend. When I say fluffy manga, those fluffy manga that I recommended does not compare to this fluffiness, okay? So let me just give this series a bit of a limelight. So this series is A Sign of Affection. If you haven't heard me talk about this series enough yet, well, I'm going to talk about it now. This series is absolutely beautiful. You can tell from the cover, the art style is stunning, even from the back cover as well. The main girl is cute, the main guy is super hot, like the aesthetic wise is 10/10. Story wise, 10/10 as well. So the reason why I say this series is super fluffy, that it can't be compared to the other series that I mentioned, is because this is the main girl character who's called Yuki and the main guy called Itsuomi. And Yuki has a hearing impairment, and Itsuomi is the type of guy who is a linguistic, shall I say. He is fluent in many languages. He has seen so much of the world compared to Yuki, who hasn't seen much of it. And Itsuomi has an interest for Yuki and also fancies her, of course. And it's such a sweet romance, and I feel like they're made for one another, you know. And knowing that Yuki has a hearing impairment, he's very soft, you know. He does little like gestures that, like, even this, like rubbing her head, like, and that stuff. This, I think that is a gesture of like care, or even like so like Yuki took that as like a whoo, you know. And it's just a sweet thing, like him holding her hand and that stuff, and he's so aware of Yuki, and that just makes me that makes my heart warm, to be honest. Like, you know, when someone notices like everything you do, or when you need something, that is act of service, and Itsuomi got that, you know. Yeah, he's just so handsome as well. He's got a great personality, and yeah, like, oh, even me looking at the scene, look how beautiful the scene is. Like, if you want something that pulls your heartstrings, this is the series for you. I really can't talk enough about this series as it's so good. But yeah, if you want to collect a shoujo manga that is ongoing, that's super beautiful, that is 100% worth it in your collection, this is hands down it. I don't think I've heard anyone talk badly about A Sign of Affection. That's how good it is. But yeah, that is A Sign of Affection. Last series that I recommend for 2021 that I read that I enjoyed is A Man's Cat. This series, so this series is a slice of life, and this is another gem in my collection. This series is absolutely beautiful. If you're into like series that are episodic, even if you're not even into series that are not episodic, like for me, I hate episodic manga because I feel like it's very hard for it to flow and enjoy. This series blew my mind. Like, I couldn't even believe that I enjoyed episodic manga, because this series is so fun and also a huge tearjerker. It's, for me, it really hits my heartstrings. It really pulls them. It melts my heart. Like, this series is about this widowed man who adopts this cat, and you basically see their journey and their growth together, and just see how they manage life and their lifestyle and the things that like they get up to in their daily lives. It's just a very beautiful and soft series that I just can't say enough. Like, even look at this page. Look how the grandpa is hugging the kitty. Like, it's so sweet. This series is a beautifully written series in my opinion as well. The quality is absolutely amazing. It's fantastic, to be honest. It's published by Square Enix as well. This is an ongoing series. Currently we have 4 volumes out. But yeah, I feel like I talked about A Man's Cat a lot. But yeah, this is a series that you don't even have to like cats or any pets to enjoy the series. This is just a series that if you want something heartwarming, this is it. This is the series that I can imagine me sitting next to a fireplace and just getting all cozy and all up in my emotions. This is the series, okay? But yeah, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my 2021 manga favorites. Let me know down below your thoughts, and if any of these series that you like to pick up, or maybe these are some series you already read. Just let me know your opinions, or any manga that you read in 2021 that I haven't mentioned that you'd like me to add in future hauls, or even in my wish list. Like, I would love to read more new series and that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new here, subscribe, and yeah, please give this video a like, comment as well. And yeah, I hope you guys are well and stay healthy, and I hope 2022 is a blessed year for all of you. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye!